In correspondence with scientists in Germany, Du Châtelet learned of another view, that of Gottfried Leibniz. He proposed that moving objects had a kind of inner spirit. He called it vis viva, Latin for living force. Many discounted his ideas, but Leibniz was convinced that the energy of an object was made up of its mass times its velocity squared.
Taking the square of something is an ancient procedure. If you say a garden is 4 square, you mean that it might be built up by 4 slabs along one edge and 4 along the other. So the total number of paving slabs is 4 times 4, 16. If the garden is 8 square, 8 by 8, well, 8 squared is 64. It'll have 64 slabs in it. This huge multiplication, this building up by squares, is something you find in nature all the time.
Emily, you are being absurd. Why ascribe to an object a vague and immeasurable force like vis viva? It is a return to the old ways. It is the occult.
When movement commences, you said it is true that a force is produced which did not exist until now. Think of our bodies. To have free will, we must be free to initiate motion. So all Leibniz is asking is, where does all this force come from?
In your case, my dear, the force, I am sure, is primeval.
Oh, you're infuriating. You hide behind wit and sarcasm. You only think you understand Newton. You're incapable of understanding Leibniz. You're provocateur. Everything you do is about something else and makes trouble for you. Criticize this, denounce that. Are you capable of discovering something of your own?
I discovered you!
Despite the overwhelming support for Newton, Du Châtelet did not waver in her belief. Eventually, she came across an experiment performed by a Dutch scientist, Willem Segravesand, that would prove her point.
Segravesand in Leiden has been dropping lead balls into a pan of clay.
Dropping lead balls into clay. How very imaginative.
Using Newton's formulas, Monsieur Voltaire, he then drops a second ball from a higher height, calculated to exactly double the speed of the first ball on impact. So, monsieur, care for a little wager? Newton tells us that by doubling the speed of the ball, we will double the distance it travels into the clay. Leibniz asks us to square that speed. If he is correct, the ball will travel not 2, but 4 times as far. So, who is correct?
Monsieur, I feel Mr. Newton's reputation dwindling ever so slightly.
Oh, mon père, Tweed, do not succumb to her. There is no earthly reason to ascribe hidden forces to this Dutchman's lead balls.
Well, the ball travels 4 times further.
Turns out, Leibniz is the one who was right. It's the best way to express the energy of a moving object. If you drive a car at 20 miles an hour, it takes a certain distance to stop if you slam on the brakes. If you're going 3 times as fast, you're going 60 miles an hour, it won't take you 3 times as long to stop. It'll take you 9 times as long to stop.
Oh, well, it does seem worth consideration.
Perhaps we might look over his calculations.
I have already checked his figures. I am sure Leibniz is correct on this point. I intend to include a section on this matter in my book.
Really? Do be careful, madame. Do you think the Academy is ready for such an opinion?
Quite. We really should be careful.
We? I see no reason to delay. There is no right time for the truth.
Emily du Châtelet published her Institutions of Physics in 1740, and it provoked great controversy. Voltaire wrote that she was a great man whose only fault was being a woman. In her day, that was a great compliment.
child.
You are sure?
Undoubtedly. 2 to 3 months. I'm afraid, Ballet.
You are afraid? You should... Well, this child is obviously not mine. Nor is it your husband's. Oh, Emily.
Emily du Châtelet knew that in the 18th century, for a woman to become pregnant at the age of 43 was really very dangerous. And all the while she was pregnant, she had terrible premonitions about what was going to happen.
All her life, du Châtelet had tried to rise above the limitations placed on her gender. In the end, it was an affair with a young soldier that led to her demise. 6 days after giving birth to her 4th child, she suffered an embolism and died. Emily du Châtelet's conviction that the energy of an object is a function of the square of its speed sparked a fierce debate. After her death, it took 100 years for the idea to be accepted. Just in time for Einstein to use this brilliant insight to finally bring energy and mass together with light. Einstein pursued light right through university and beyond. Unfortunately, he'd upset so many professors that no one would write him a reference. He accepted a low-paying job in the Swiss patent office. He and Mileva married and had a child. The young family struggled, but none of it seems to bother Albert.
Einstein, I see you are busy, as usual. Look, Einstein. You have shown some quite good achievements, but listen, about your promotion. I really think it would be better to wait until you have become more fully familiar with mechanical engineering. I'm sorry. Perhaps next time.
But I wanted to hire a maid so I can get back and finish my degree. Now I will never pass my dissertation.
Oh, come, my pretty little duck. All will be fine. You'll see.
How will it be fine, Albert? Do I have to just wait another year until you are promoted? Come on, come on, my little one. Oh, there we are.
All will be fine. All will be fine. You'll see.
There really is a very charming but kind of a self-centered streak to Einstein. He focuses only on his particular obsessions. If the rest of the world fits in around him, that's fine. If they can't, it doesn't bother him.
And he's going to come and tell us it. Well, Albert. A pretty neck and your head spins.
Okay, so we must behold and comprehend the mysterious.
Well, that kind of mysterious is going to get you into trouble.
I'll tell you what is truly mysterious. The secret of a long and happy marriage.